What is the efficient market hypothesis? Golden Retriever loves apples more than anything in the whole wide world. Golden Retriever dreams about apples, thinks about apples during walks, and would trade his favorite tennis ball for just one crispy Honeycrisp apple. Now, imagine Golden Retriever lives in a magical dog park where all the dogs trade apples like they're precious treasures. This apple market is where Golden Retriever learned about something humans call the efficient market hypothesis, though Golden Retriever just calls it why apple prices are so confusing sometimes. The efficient market hypothesis says that apple prices in this magical dog park always reflect everything every dog knows about those apples. When Golden Retriever first heard this from Professor Poodle, who has a degree in canine economics from Barkyard University, his tail stopped wagging for a whole 3 seconds. It sounded impossible. How could every single piece of information about apples already be baked into their prices? Golden Retriever thought about Mrs. Beagle, who always knows which apple trees are about to bloom next season, and Sergeant German Shepherd, who can smell if apples are going bad from 3 blocks away. According to this hypothesis, all their secret apple knowledge is somehow already reflected in today's apple prices, which seems as likely as Golden Retriever learning to drive a car or figuring out how door handles work. But here's where it gets really interesting for Golden Retriever's apple-obsessed brain. The hypothesis comes in 3 different flavors, just like apples come in Granny Smith, Red Delicious, and Gala varieties. The weak form says that past apple price movements don't help predict future apple prices, which makes Golden Retriever's head tilt in that confused way dogs do when humans talk about taxes or why cats exist. The semi-strong form claims that all publicly available information about apples is already reflected in current prices, meaning Golden Retriever can't gain an advantage by reading the Daily Bark newsletter's Apple Market reports. The strong form goes even further, suggesting that even insider information, like knowing which apple orchards the mayor's Labrador visits, won't help anyone make better apple trading decisions because somehow that information magically appears in prices before anyone can act on it. Golden Retriever finds this whole concept both fascinating and slightly terrifying. If the hypothesis is true, then all those hours Golden Retriever spent learning about apple varieties, studying seasonal patterns, and developing his nose for quality fruit might be completely useless for making smart apple investments. It would mean that Golden Retriever's carefully planned apple portfolio, diversified between sweet varieties for treats and tart ones for training rewards, performs no better than if he just randomly picked apples while blindfolded and spinning in circles. Hey there, fellow dog lovers and apple enthusiasts. Golden Retriever here, and honestly, his brain is getting a bit tired from all this thinking about market efficiency. If you're enjoying watching Golden Retriever try to wrap his furry head around human economics while still maintaining his dignity as a sophisticated canine, maybe you could hit that subscribe button. Golden Retriever promises to keep making these videos as long as you keep watching them, and he genuinely gets excited every time someone new joins the pack. Also, drop a comment below and tell Golden Retriever what other confusing human concepts you'd like him to tackle next, because his to-do list currently just says nap and find more apples. Now Golden Retriever needs to discuss the implications of the efficient market hypothesis, which sounds fancy but basically means why trying to outsmart the apple market might be harder than teaching cats to fetch. If markets are truly efficient, then Golden Retriever's neighbor Bulldog Bruno, who spends 18 hours a day analyzing apple charts and reading every piece of apple news from here to Alaska, should perform no better than Golden Retriever's cousin, Cocker Spaniel, who picks apples by closing his eyes and pointing randomly. This seems to contradict everything Golden Retriever observes at the local dog park, where some dogs consistently seem to find better apple deals than others, though that might just be because they're willing to dig through more trash cans. The hypothesis suggests 3 main reasons why apple markets stay efficient, and Golden Retriever finds each one more mind-boggling than the last. First, there are supposedly enough smart dogs in the market that any pricing mistakes get corrected faster than Golden Retriever can drop a tennis ball when he sees a squirrel. Second, information travels so quickly through the dog park gossip network that by the time Golden Retriever hears about good Apple deals, hundreds of other dogs have already heard about them and acted, driving prices back to fair value. Third, the assumption that all dogs are rational actors trying to maximize their Apple returns, which Golden Retriever questions every time he sees Chihuahua Charlie trade 3 premium apples for a single tennis ball because it squeaks. But here's where Golden Retriever gets really confused about this whole efficient market thing. If markets are perfectly efficient, why do Apple prices fluctuate so wildly sometimes? Golden Retriever remembers last autumn when panic spread through the dog park about an apple shortage, causing prices to skyrocket, only for everyone to discover the next day that it was just a rumor started by Persian cat Patricia, who doesn't even eat apples. Shouldn't an efficient market have prevented such obvious misinformation from affecting prices? And what about those times when Golden Retriever noticed apple prices seemed to follow patterns, like always dropping on rainy Tuesdays when fewer dogs come to the park? If past price movements truly contain no useful information, these patterns shouldn't exist. Yet Golden Retriever swears he's observed them with his own eyes. The practical implications for Golden Retriever's Apple investment strategy are enormous. If the efficient market hypothesis holds true, then Golden Retriever should stop trying to time his Apple purchases, quit analyzing which orchards produce the best fruit, and simply buy a diverse mix of apples regularly, regardless of market conditions. This passive approach goes against every instinct Golden Retriever has developed as a professional Apple enthusiast, but the math seems to support it, even though math has never been Golden Retriever's strongest subject. Well, that's Golden Retriever's attempt at explaining one of the most debated theories in finance. And honestly, his brain feels like it just ran a marathon while carrying a stick. If this video helped you understand why beating the market might be tougher than it looks, Golden Retriever would be absolutely thrilled if you subscribed and maybe shared this with another curious soul. More importantly, Golden Retriever genuinely wants to know what financial topics are keeping you up at night. So please leave suggestions in the comments, because making these videos brings him more joy than finding a perfectly ripe apple on a sunny afternoon. And that's saying something.